You're very welcome to week 2 of Mindfulness in May. So last week we did coming back to the senses, and this week I'm inviting you to join me in coming back to your body in a short body scan. So each of these practices, you might notice, are about coming back to the present moment. And that's really the essence of mindfulness practice, coming back to the present moment. We tend to spend our lives quite a lot drifting away into the future, like what do I need to do next, or what am I going to do tomorrow, or what will I do next week or next year. Or we spend a lot of time going back to the past. Oh, what we did yesterday, what we should have done yesterday, what she did yesterday, what he did yesterday. And that's fine. As human beings, we need to plan, we need to remember, and we need to plan on the basis of what happened already. This is very useful. The psychologists call it the narrative mode, where we're going with the stories of what happened then and what's going to happen next. So we're drifting from one story to another. That's why they call it the narrative mode. There is another mode though, and this is the experiential mode. So the experiential mode is noticing, oh, I just sat a little bit forward in the chair, and noticing that cushion feels quite nice behind me. Slight little itch in the corner of my eye, and I notice a little flashing light from my modem over there. I wonder what that's about. So this is the experiential mode, where I'm actually in the present moment, just noticing what's going on within me and around me. And as I said, they're both they're both useful modes. We need to have access to both modes. But the problem can be that we spend a lot of our lives in the narrative mode. Like we can spend nearly all of our lives in the narrative mode. And it might sound ridiculous, but it can mean that a lot of the time, the present moment right now is actually kind of uninhabited, because I'm not here. I'm not at home to notice each present moment as it's happening. So the mindfulness practices are an invitation to come home to the present moment, to your body, to what's going on within you and around you right at this moment. So here we are, going to practice a body scan. It's really important to be comfortable. So I'm going to assume that you're sitting in a chair, and just take as long as you need to get yourself settled and comfortable. You could, of course, do the practice lying down, but it's kind of short, 15 to 20 minutes, so maybe sitting in a chair is more convenient. Ideally, you can have your feet flat on the floor. Ideally, the spine reasonably upright. In other words, it's better if you're not slumped, because if you're really slumped in a chair, you're going to fall asleep and you're going to give yourself a sore back. So ideally, you're sitting reasonably upright with as much support as you need behind you. Your eyes can either be open or closed, so it's probably a little bit distracting that these instructions are coming on video. They could probably better be audio, that you are not conscious of needing to look at me. So please, you don't need to look at me. Feel free to have the eyes open or closed as they wish. And if the eyes want to remain open, I would suggest, don't look at the screen. Just let your eyes fall downwards. Let your eyes look kind of 45-degree angle downwards. So ignore the screen. Yeah, so taking as long as you need to get settled and comfortable. And in the body scan, I'm going to invite you to do a little journey around your body, just following my voice. We could start at the top and work downwards. We could start at the bottom and work upwards. So today we're going to start at the bottom and work upwards. So just taking a moment to let your attention go all the way down. Feel your attention traveling down towards the soles of your feet. And then aware of the sole of your right foot. See if you can sense the sole of your right foot settling, maybe settling into the sole of the shoe, or maybe settling directly onto the floor. And the whole of the right foot, the right ankle, and And moving up along your right leg from the ankle to the knee, the lower part of the leg, the right knee, and the right thigh from the knee to the hip joint, and the whole of the right leg and foot from the hip joint all the way down to the sole of your foot. Just feeling the right leg and foot resting. And then moving your attention to the sole of the left foot. Again, feeling the sole of the left foot maybe settling into the sole of the shoe, maybe settling into the floor. The whole of your left foot, and the left ankle, and the lower part of the leg from the ankle to the knee, and the left knee, and left thigh from knee to hip joint. The whole of your left leg and foot. Maybe for a moment sensing both legs and both feet. Just settling, resting. Both legs and feet. And now leaving your legs and feet for the moment and bring the attention to your right hand. And just notice the thumb, the fingers, the palm, the back of the hand, the whole of the hand, and your right wrist, the lower arm, from the wrist to the elbow, and the right elbow, and the upper arm from the elbow to the shoulder. The whole of the right arm and hand, from the shoulder socket all the way down to the fingertips. And then moving to your left hand, the thumb, the fingers, the palm, back of the hand, the whole of your left hand, the left wrist, the lower part of the arm, from the wrist to the elbow, and the left elbow, and the upper arm, from the elbow to the shoulder, the whole of the left arm and hand, from the shoulder socket all the way down to the fingertips. For a moment now, see if you can be aware of both arms and both hands. And then you might even be aware of both arms and both legs all at the same time. See if you can be aware of your forelimbs just resting here. What is it like to notice your four limbs resting? And for the moment now, leaving the limbs, and bring your attention up to your shoulder area and then the back of the neck. And see if you can allow your attention to sweep up along the back of the neck and the back of the head, the sides of the head, and the top of your head. Maybe for a moment you can be aware of the whole of your scalp. And then bringing the attention to your face and just allowing your attention to sweep downwards, forehead, and the eyes, around the eyes, the nose, aware of your cheeks, the right cheek and the left cheek, the right ear, the left ear, and your jaw, the upper part of your jaw and the lower part of your jaw. the lips, possibly resting lightly together, maybe not. And then the inside of the mouth. Maybe you can be aware of the roof of your mouth and the floor of your mouth, the teeth and the gums. Maybe you're aware of where the tongue is resting inside the mouth. A moment or two inside the mouth. And then bringing the attention back to the lips and the chin. See if you can be aware of the whole of your head and face, both on the outside and the inside. And then from the chin, letting your attention sweep down along the throat and the sides of your neck, the right side, the left side, and coming to the back of the neck again. This time sweeping downwards from the back of the neck, sweeping down along the upper back and the shoulder blades, the middle of your back, back of your waist, and the lower back, the back of your pelvis. Aware of the whole of your pelvis, like the base of your body. Aware of your seat, sitting in the seat of the chair, the genital area. And then coming upwards along the front of the pelvis, the front of your belly, belly button, sweeping upwards along the front of your chest, the ribs, and right up to the collarbones and the shoulders. Aware of the whole of your trunk, front of the trunk and the back of the trunk. And then we're going to sweep downwards along the whole body, including the whole body. So aware of the head and the face, the neck and the throat, the shoulders, arms and hands, the whole of your trunk, the front, the back, the hips, the legs, and the feet. See if you can be aware of the whole body together. Just the body as a whole, sitting here, resting here in this chair. And for a few moments, see if you can just be curious about anything the body is experiencing. And maybe you feel tingling somewhere. Maybe you feel warmth or coolness somewhere. Maybe you feel a discomfort and a need to adjust somewhere. Just giving your body these few moments of your time and attention. Noticing whatever the body is experiencing as we sit here. The body, of course, is teeming with sensations at any moment. The body is alive and, as I say, teeming with sensation. But because we don't really spend much time looking for those sensations, we often don't notice very much to begin with. We notice if there's an ache or a pain, but we maybe don't notice tingling or pulsing or warmth or coolness. So just being patient, sitting for another moment or two, gently curious. What is your body experiencing? Either on a global level or on a very local, detailed level. one of the things you might notice is that the breath is happening in the body, and you maybe feel the movement of the breath. And again, without changing that, without interfering with the breath at all, see if you can just become aware of that. Where do you feel the breath in your body? Something is moving in your body as the breath comes and goes. Maybe in your chest, maybe in your belly. Just curious, what does the breath feel like? Waves of breath coming and going. What do you feel as the waves come and go? And see if you could imagine, and don't try too hard, but see if you could imagine that the breath kind of spreads out into the whole body when you breathe in, as if the breath spreads out into every cell, right out to your skin. And then when you breathe out, maybe feeling the breath kind of retreating and softening back inside you, as if there's some central place and the breath begins to spread out from that central place, spreading out into every cell. And then as you breathe out, the breath settles back towards its center or its source. Maybe you can feel that for a few moments. As if the whole body is being nourished by the breath. Sitting here for a few moments longer, receiving the nourishment of the breath. And then aware that our practice is coming to an end. Any moment now, I'm going to ring the bell and the practice will be over. But just sitting on, I have a few more little suggestions after the bell. So just sitting for a little while after the bell has gone. So well done, having given yourself this time. Your body is probably grateful for this bit of attention. And I'm going to suggest that you just move back into the flow of your day very gently, very lightly, maybe really noticing your body, that if you lift the kettle, well, it's your body that's doing that. So just noticing the bodily action of doing whatever you do next. And also, maybe even before you leave your chair, it might be a good idea to just pause and ask your body, well, is there something that your body needs from you now? Maybe you need to go for a walk. Maybe you need to open a window. Maybe you need a cup of tea or go to the bathroom. Just consulting your body in whatever you're going to do next. And maybe your body needs something that's only going to take 30 seconds, but consulting it. Doing what your body needs you to do. Most of our lives, the body is very busy doing what we need it to do. So just turning the tables on this occasion. So thank you very much for joining me. And I hope this practice is useful to you over the coming week.